Oh, hello. Yes. Well, it's nearly December, and normally I would be in a situation of going ho, 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 but I'm not doing it this year because I can't be asked, to be honest with you. And I'm so busy with my other work these days, working with autistic adults. It's time to have another full shave and haircut. So, I'm back at Peter's, the singing barber. Here he is, who was surprised by Rod Stewart and the one show from the BBC for all his good works. Thanks for coming especially today.
My pleasure.
And
nice to see you.
You're going to do the... Yeah, how was that though with Rod Stewart?
It was a great big surprise, it was lovely.
Yeah, you didn't know anything about it.
I literally didn't know until you
And
stood
from the
next to me.
sublime to the ridiculous, he's now got me. It's easy.
Even better.
That's King. Today's going to be a few beers. But they're not going to be long. Right, what are we going to do today then, Peter, tell us?
So you said you want something fresh, and you said you'd like your head shaved, very short. So I'll shave your head for you, nice and smooth, and then we'll shave your beard off as well. So it's nice
And throughout, can we have a song?
fresh. A song as well? Yeah, why not?
Go on then, give us a song. Do you do a Rod Stewart?
I don't know. But I sing lots of songs from the American Songbook.
Oh yeah, well that's your forte, isn't it?
Rod Stewart. He's got 2-3 albums, I think, covering songs from the American Songbook.
You say he's a very nice guy, I'm sure he is. Like a lot of these people you meet in reality, they're very nice people, but I can't bear his voice.
No, he's very, very warm chap.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I've now turned into a vicar. Yes, so it's nice to be back. This is the second time well, actually I've been here several times, you know, because you are my father barber when I had it done, but these days I don't have to pay for it because the Rita Films pay for it, don't you dear? Thank you. We have done one this January, that's just January gone, it's 2022, we've come back, and it was my director's idea to come back and do a second one. We were doing a film called Kestrel House, which this programme is going to be based on. And that's it, take it. That's it, get rid of it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go for it. As usual.
There's no going back now.
Well, they are, but a lot of people look at me when I had it done last time and say, Jim, as usual, that's taking 10 minutes off you. I'm so cheeky bastard.
Are you sure you don't want me to spike it up like Rod Stewart? No.
This is a wig, isn't it?
No, it's got great head of hair.
Well, look,
I wish I had a head.
yeah, mine's all slipped, it's all gone down here. So yeah, we've been doing Kestrel House, which is a film that's been in the offing off and on. It was, once it was going to be about Dracula, then it was going to be something else. It was going to be called Dracula Raven's House. So we found out how much it cost to have an actual raven, which was highly expensive on a small budget. So it was cheaper to get a kestrel. And of course, the kestrel and I got on like a house on fire.
Is je literate?
What?
Can you read and write?
She sat all her school.
Let her speak.
I can read and write.
Read from this.
Joy and triumph everlasting hath the heavenly church on high. For that
Two sovereigns.
2 sovereigns?
Just for this British scene. Hello. We're just doing the red.
Hi, my name is Sophie Carl, and I just wanted to speak to you briefly about my experience while filming the Kestrel House movie. I absolutely adored it, and if I could describe it in 2 words, it would be memorable and unique. Yes, because it was absolutely that. From the location in a fantastic Victorian house, I've never seen anything like that. Hundreds of objects, a magnificent organ, all the furniture. Oh my gosh, it was unbelievable. And the owners of that Victorian B&B are absolutely friendly and nice too. They are very quirky and fit right into the location, which just made it that extra bit of special, if you know what I mean. And my characters, gosh, I loved my characters, all my girls, because I was playing the Madame. And yes, so I was a Kestrel, or some people know me more as the Cresserelle. Yes, I did have a French accent because I am half French, and I adore being French in movies. So why not? Pourquoi pas? And yes, I adored my girls, and I miss all of them dearly already. On makeup, we had Jazz, and gosh, she was really organized. She had to do everything by herself concerning hair and makeup, and she just did one after another, all on time, no delays. Fantastic. And Stephen Southhouse, the director, was a gem to work with, and of course Nigel on the camera. Oh, you guys, these guys, gosh, they were amazing. I mean, I have hardly worked on a set which has been that organized. The director said, okay, you'll be arriving at 10 a.m. on one day, finishing at 5 maximum. Guess what? I finished at 5 maximum. If something went wrong in one of the scenes, the director, well, just said, okay, let's leave that scene aside for a moment, let's do another one. Gosh, something is wrong? Okay, let's do an improv scene while the rest gets resolved. Mwah. Thank you, Stephen, for being such a great director. And Nigel, again, is a great person to be around, and I can listen to their directions forever because they truly know what they're talking about. And when I had a little peep at what they filmed, it just looked great. So that was my experience with the Kestrel House. And yeah, to win the next film, I want to be in it. Ciao, ciao. Mwah.
Take Gabrielle to Cassandra. Then give her a bath. We'll call her Ariel. Give her Catherine's clothes and room, and bring her back to me when she's clean.
Yes, madame.
Go. We'll clothe you and feed you. You'll want for nothing more.
I don't know what I'm doing here. You can't keep me here.
Come on, Ariel. Come with me.
Love letter straight from your heart, keep us so near while apart. I'm not alone in the night when I have all the love you write. I memorize every line kiss the name that you sign. And darling, then I read again, right from the start. Love letters straight from your heart.
Hello, say who you are and what part you're playing, darling. You're playing Alice, aren't
I'm
you?
playing Alice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my name's, well, my real name's Elizabeth, but people know me as Liv.
Liv?
Liv.
Oh.
But my actual name's Elizabeth Knight, and I'm playing Alice, and I'm currently in makeup, and, yeah, I work in a brothel. I don't know what else to say. Here's my...
Yeah, so what are you doing here then? And Jess,
Hi!
this is the fabulous makeup lady who
Yeah.
is just makes you
Look,
look.
she's done me hair.
And I mean, look at that.
Look at that. Look at it.
I bet you were run off your feet, weren't you, last couple of days?
She's been amazing.
Yeah.
She's kind of really. We've all got it down to a fine, relatively fine.
Yeah,
System the last couple of days. Yeah.
It's
And yeah, I'm wearing my hotel dressing gown.
Is it a hotel dressing gown? You've got no bra on, haven't you? Mind you, neither have I. I've got no knickers on either.
For me, it was kind of. I think, well, it was for Stephen a bit of a labour of love. I think for me, it was a very interesting kind of a journey into doing a journey into participating and to accepting the role of Alice. I initially sort of said no and thought that it perhaps wasn't right for me. I think actually, let me just without waffling, let me rewind a bit. I hadn't been acting for quite some time. I've been working in music, doing music things, and not like that, not musical theatre, actual electronic music actually. And I thought that, I don't know, I thought I just maybe couldn't, I shouldn't, I wasn't kind of up to it, or it wasn't for me. It's not, I don't know, that you put these limitations in your mind, don't you, because of well, not all of us do, I did, and of where I was at and what I was doing, and for some reason my heart wanted to, but there was something saying no, you shouldn't, whatever, which is, as I know, all born out of fear, really, fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, and etc., so on and so forth. And those were really quite loud voices in my head, I suppose, and I acknowledged them. And but I said to Stephen, I'm not sure it's right for me. I don't think that I can do this. I think she's a bit young. I think I'm too old. All of the reasons came out. And he rewrote the script just to give it that sort of edge of the fact that, I wasn't this spring chicken. And was just really, I don't know, really wanted me to do it, I guess. And I think from that I felt, well, maybe I can do it. What's stopping me do it? That was the next phase. What's stopping me doing it? So I sort of looked around me, and it was just, I don't know, there's all sorts of things, life things, other work, I don't know. But I really wanted to. And I just, reread the new script, and I just was like, what am I so afraid of? So I kind of said yes. I thought, oh God, what am I doing? It really was that, that kind of bigger dialogue for me in my head, that's what goes on in my head.
I see Sylvie has more clearing up to do. Don't make a habit of it. We can't afford to lose any more punters. You know, you and I are very similar. I can literally feel the years falling off of me. I love the process of having my hair done. I mean, or off. Because I tend to do a lot of this. You know what I mean? And see, look, our cops. What do you think, so?
Which side?
Oh, hello! You know, they do that, you know, because I could go all feminine on one side and butch on the other. That would have been a good thing for a film station, but in Castle House I could have a half and half. I mean, in this film we did. I mean, it's got a nice cast, and it's a picture film, but we did it over a period, well, I laughingly played the lead. Baron Magister. Magister. The name Magister is not used in the film, but I called him that because that is Latin for master. And with my affection for Doctor Who, I thought it would be quite nice to think of Roger Delgado, the first master, who was also called Magister in the Daemons, which is a John Pertwee story. I thought it would be nice to have that. But it's not used in the film, it's just, I've got this nice, have you got that hat, by the way?
Yes.
It's a beautiful hat. Too big for me, we had to stuff it with cardboard. Because they only had one side. Beautiful blue with feathers on it and all that. So the hat was there for a reason, so they hid my horns. He kept on laughing and said, horns on or horns off? What was the name of that lovely makeup artist?
Jazz.
She was fantastic.
Baby.
Listen to them, the children of the night. What music! Oh, look, there's a monk walking past. Pudding.
That's cool.
Delicious breakfast.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, good.
We're filming my back, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry,
perfect. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Hiya.
Hiya.
That's right. It's difficult for people to look somewhere else and say that might apply to us.
It's quite an education, isn't it?
Detailed operational.
So is the filming going well? Are you happy with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you on schedule?
Yeah, really.
Well, that's an achievement.
Yeah. It is.
I always say, teacher, I love hairdressers, barbers, makeup artists,
Yeah.
because you can sit in a chair and it literally is, certainly if you're on location, and she was putting loads of prosthetics on my face. Apart from that, I had a sort of thing here, I looked a bit like Vincent Price in House of Wax. And I had this really lovely costume. It just sitting in the chair, having it all done, and that is just a pleasure because you can sit and chat away, having good fun, being totally healthy, and talk about everything apart from what you're doing. Because that's the art of being a barber, isn't it? You've got to have chat. You do songs, but you've got to have chat as well with all your customers.
Oh yeah, well, a bit of chit chat.
Do you have a sort of set script where you just take it?
Oh yeah, we always ask what you're up to today. Are you going on holiday?
Let's start with that.
Yeah, no,
Are you going on holiday?
you build a rapport with your
Do you ever
clients.
say, would you like something for the weekend?
Occasionally.
Hi, my name is Nigel Woodley, and I was lucky enough to be the cameraman on the shooting of Kestrel House.
It's a lovely way to be pampered. So I would say I like makeup artists as my favourite crew member because it's like being at the hairdressers.
Just close this way.
So, how did I get involved with Kestrel House? Well, it's quite a long story, and I guess it all stems back to Mark Sinclair, who I used to make films with many years ago. And during the summer, he invited me to go up and be interviewed for one of a series of documentaries he was making for YouTube called Mark and Chums. And I thought, fine, that'd be great to go and do that. The guy shooting the documentary was Stephen Southhouse, the director of Kestrel House, and we were chatting and talked about my interest in filmmaking, and Stephen very kindly invited me to come along and take part in the week's shooting at the Victorian Guest House in St Leonard's. I was delighted to be offered and delighted to accept, and that's how I got involved in Kestrel House.
We go back
To school.
to nursery school.
Nursery.
That's how far back we go,
Little kiddies.
don't we? Mind you,
Shouting.
he likes a few pies. But I was quite big and I've lost a lot of weight. Just got married.
Didn't do anything for me.
Congrats.
Didn't I? Got married, didn't I, Steve?
When? Long time ago.
Be 13 years in February. My mother died on the 4th. We buried her, well, cremated her on the 21st. I got married on the 23rd. We were trying to get a christening and a bar mitzvah in the same week so we could have a full set. How many were in that class?
About 15.
About 15 of them. I was supposed to do, personally I was going to do all 5 days of the block. In the end I ended up only doing 2 because he organised it so well. Stephen, that is, not him over there.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was the Thursday was really hard going, and I wasn't well with that. I couldn't retain any lines. I kept on dropping lines. I'm not very good at learning lines, as you know, but there we are. And
I bet you're good at ad-libbing though, aren't you?
well, the one thing working for Stephen is he doesn't mind that. No matter how much you've written and take trouble to write the script, he said, as long as you get the gist, then you did. So I only had about 2 or 3 things to do, only short things. No, go for it. And on the Friday, I had slept the night, the Thursday night after filming. I felt honestly so ill. I was streaming with cold. And in the end, they luckily were able to get round the fact. And in fact, at the end, they didn't need me at all. Did you?
No.
Hi guys, my name's Helen and I play the part of Electra in Kestrel House. So basically Electra is an opium addict. She was so much fun to play because she's got this kind of air or essence, you know, that she doesn't really care. She's very sarcastic. She knows the workings of the house very well. You know, she's very mean to the new girl Alice that comes in from outside. And, you know, in a lot of respects, she is kind of, you know, has all the knowledge of the inner workings, yet she has this vulnerable side where she relies on her opium addiction to get her through day by day at Kestrel House with the clients that come in and, you know, all the goings on there. So it's a really intricate, like really interesting role, and oh my god, some great one-liners. I think one of my favourites from Electra would have to be when the priest visited and she, you know, she said, oh, I had a dream, I've got something to confess, I satisfied the devil last night. And it's just such a fun part to play. But my favourite scene was probably nearer the beginning with Alice when I'm on the bed and I'm telling about the ghost of Catherine and I'm lighting my pipe and I'm kind of scaring scaring Alice in that scene. But also it was just so fun to like work with. The people were amazing. Some I've worked with before, some I hadn't, but had so much fun on this film. So thank you all, cast and crew, because you've all been so amazing. And the house, wow. If you ever get the chance to stay there, I would definitely do that. So thanks guys, and it's bye from me and from Maxie. There he is. Say bye, Max. Little Dalmatian. Bye guys. That's when I do the wine, so like I pour some wine, and then I say, here's to Catherine, struggling to keep her soul till the end, soon to be dust. And we like cheers it, some wine. Cheers.
Okay. All right. So, Alice enters. How was the funeral?
Fine. Want to share the pipe?
I don't know. I wanted to ask you something.
Go on.
Have you seen a ghost yet? The ghost of Catherine. How was the funeral?
Oh, fine. Do you want to share the pipe?
I don't know. I wanted to ask you something.
Go on.
Have you seen a ghost here? The ghost of Catherine?
With the pipe, I'm not sure what to believe anymore. In the past, in the present, or even in the future. Do you know what she did?
What?
Laid in a hot bath and slit her wrist with a knife after satisfying her own father here. I saw her in a bath full of blood, dead.
Perhaps I should have left it on, Stephen. Thinking, but can I put it back on there? Mind you, it's another stuff. Do you remember on January, it was so long, it was down here? Do you remember when we did that? Because that was, God knows.
Was that lockdown?
No, that was Father Christmas. And this year, I wasn't going to have it at all. I was going to maintain, as we did to show the first recording we did in January, I was going to maintain it off, and, you know, on occasion not bothered to shave and all that. And what happened was somebody said, oh, can you do us a Father Christmas? You know, it was in the summer, so I had to start growing it. Then the cow cancelled.
Oh.
Oh no, we've got a different direction. I said, don't give me all that bollocks. I said, you've got in a different direction. I said, I've been too long in this bloody business. I know what that means. So don't, you know, I said, I will be advising equity. Oh, well, we didn't have anything signed. I said, a verbal agreement in my eyes is a verbal agreement. Either you do it or you don't do it, or at least you know to compensate, even just say, well, look, here's 20 quid, get yourself a bottle of wine. Then that implicates you from the situation. We're not gone through the process of actually growing the bloody thing. I just suppose it saved me a lot on shaving foam.
Yeah, I think so glad that I did it. You know, it was quite a cosmic moment, really, bringing together, like universally aligned, bringing together the people that came together and the other people I work with. On the whole project, because there was just something so right about it, and it was a mixture of all the things. It was us, it was the location, it was what we brought to the table, it was just what everyone had, and I guess, you know, that's a testament to kind of, I don't know, Stephen just maybe having this kind of sort of inkling that it was bringing together the right people or what, but it was, you know, obviously on screen is that's the job, like, you know, delivering and doing the work, but the outside of that, just what I took from everyone was a gift. You know, they were, every single person was just really so inspirational and so clear for me. They stood clearly in their skin and with their thoughts and ideas and all the things that made them who they are, and it's quite emotional actually talking about it. They just offered so much beauty. There were so many like moments of just absolute beauty.
Wrong buttons.
What?
Your waistcoat, you've got the wrong buttons.
Oh.
Wait 10 minutes. See you later.
It was a real kind of journey of learning and understanding and opening up and joy and all of those kind of cosmic buzzwords. But it really was all those things. It really was.
Yeah, we had a lovely group of ladies and chaps. I didn't really see the chaps. I was mostly involved with the ladies, which is odd because I'm as queer as a 9-bob note. But there was a lovely who played my female lead, Alice. Is that her real name or is that?
Elizabeth Knight is her real name.
Alice, yeah. Well,
Alice is the character, isn't
she?
And they called her Ariel.
Alice Ariel, but her real name's Elizabeth. But she wasn't. She had a nickname, didn't she?
Liv, something.
Liv, something. Oh, she was. I don't know how many films she's done, but she was brilliant.
Yeah, I think what we created was a beautiful piece. We had so many funny moments as well. And staying in the house was just great. Just going through the process of wondering if it was haunted and then realising it actually really isn't. And and knowing that I just had a great night's sleep and feeling so safe. And I was up on the second floor and looking out of the window and just saying good morning to the moon because she was still hanging out at that time when I'd get up, and having a little chat with Jupiter, a couple of the stars. And that actually just set me into the day. These precious, precious moments with Jazz at 7 a.m. in makeup, listening to Smooth Chill, doing hair, drinking a coffee, cacao, green tea, whatever, just exchanging like just beautiful interactions and just growing as a person. Those calming moments in the morning were just absolutely beautiful. They were to be cherished, and I'll remember them forever. So many magical moments like that.
I wasn't expecting, because you know some stars are like, hi.
Hello, Ronnie, how are you?
Okay, how are you?
Talk to me about ghosts then.
Oh, so last night, well the good thing was I left the light on and
go up.
Okay, cool, see you up in a sec. I woke up about probably 4 or 5 times, but because the light was on, I felt so much more safe. Like, the window was rattling all night and sort of blowing through the curtains, and I went through every movie, Dark Mirror episode, horror film, old stuff, new stuff that I've ever seen just before I went to sleep, which is really not what you should be doing. But I think I've made friends with them because at 3 a.m. I turned the light off and it was very peaceful.
The one problem with a lot of people who don't do a lot of films is, and this goes back, including me when I first started, I can't get my head around how these guys put it all together. And a lot of actors are a bit green about making films, don't seem to realise you don't start at page 1 and go all the way page after page. It chops and changes all over the shop, which for the inexperienced actors, sometimes they don't realise that they are what part of the character they're in. It's a difficult process, you know. I seem to be able to get away with it, whatever, but I can understand from more inexperienced people, they do find getting the characterisation right in the period of whatever part of the film it is. You get my drift. But they beautiful cast.
I used to feel like the spin class got a bit like that.
Oh, spin class, yeah, that was fun.
I've never done class spin.
Yeah, it is fun because it's like different, isn't it? Like you do different stuff all the time. So you
That's
get
cool.
bored.
Yeah, I like
I
that.
can't see it. Same thing.
What do you want to read?
I can't, because I like to vary things, but I didn't
Yeah,
stick
yeah.
to it enough to feel that I was going to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
somewhere, because
Yeah.
I get a little bit
Yeah, I know what you
defensive.
mean.
I was like, well, I
Yeah.
want to be doing
Yeah,
better,
you want to be like,
I'm
yeah.
not going to
Yeah,
start
yeah, yeah.
yeah, they have their own style of pull up as well. And swing out and come
I've
up,
got really like weak
then
arms.
swing out and come up.
Yeah,
You've done
yeah.
that. So what
Never
you're
heard before.
supposed to
It sounds very dangerous to me.
Because I was a gym manager at one point. So,
No, so you create your form, but
yeah. I did.
there's
No, I
slightly
don't
different
think
ways.
it's a second degree. Yeah. So yeah, I used to do
Oh my god, you need to
But,
like
didn't realise you needed
If I was to use a bit of a mental
Yeah, well, it was an amazing experience working on Kestrel House. I mean, as soon as you get there, the location, it's not a set. The house is actually like that, which is really quite something. And it was absolutely lovely to meet all the cast. There's such lovely people, all of the actors and the crew. Had a really fantastic time. So, my character was a character called Gabriel, and not really a very nice bit of stuff.
Why are you doing this?
He makes them fall in love with him, and then he sells them to Kestrel House. Now, in 21st century eyes, that is really quite a nasty character, isn't it? But I sometimes kind of wonder whether Gabriel was actually a bit of a philanthropist, or at least thinks he's a philanthropist, and thinks he's helping these people rather than causing them more harm and damage. And let's face it, in the time when Kestrel House was set, what was there for these people to do, really? If you were down and out, you were down and out, and there was no help, there was no welfare. So in a way, he was providing employment for them, but on the other hand, don't like him really.
And my chum who I went to school with was a great hand to Stephen here, to Nigel Woodley, who's straight as a diamond. I think all his Christmases come at once in all of the particular ladies were exposing themselves. To me, I mean, I've done quite a few art films. Is that the right expression, Stephen?
It is, yes.
Art films, ladies with magnificent memories exposed.
The film was to be shot in an old Victorian guest house in St Leonard's, so when I turned up there I wasn't quite sure what to expect. But one Sunday afternoon in October I arrived at St Benedict's guest house and have to say was totally blown away. I have never seen anywhere like it. Every room was just totally Victorian, full of Victoriana, for want of a better phrase. Everything was authentic, and even the bathrooms, the baths and the toilets were Victorian. It was an absolutely stunning place, and you could not have thought of a better location in which to shoot Kestrel House.
Always with a lot of Stephen's work, it is quite top-heavy literally, not only literally, but it's actually top-heavy on the amount of women. Isn't it?
Yes.
Of course it is.
Of course it
Very
is.
so, aren't you? Yeah? No, it's not. Coming now. And we had, what else did we have?
Sophie. He says things I don't understand. The Baron, he talks about fire, my heart.
I don't understand him.
Alice, the Baron is not to be understood. Do not let him scare you.
That's it. I feel afraid sometimes, and I've been afraid a lot. This sounds like I've discovered the meaning of life. It was just part of a journey that I know I was meant to be on, and I was so glad that I said yes. Coming back to being me was a little bit flat. Yeah, I mean, it is for so many performers. You just have that wind down time. Coming back to reality, heading home was interesting. It wasn't sad. It was. I felt so empowered. Actually, I was like, how can I integrate this feeling, this vibe, this energy that I'd gotten, and how can I take that and bring that, a little chunk of that, a ball of that, back into where I'm at as, Liz, Elizabeth, Liv, all the hats I wear in normal life. And that's the key, because like I said, I was very inspired by these individuals, and in multiple ways across the board, and just bringing that joy and that energy that I felt that I tapped into back into my life. That's it. That is the goal. That's the beauty. And so I suppose in a nutshell, this was so much more than just a film. It was creating a piece of art. It was working on a really cool project, but it was how we did it and what was offered from that we took. I think it was really quite special, and I was obviously at a point where I really was searching for some of these things, and I accessed them. I tapped into that.
Of course, my lovely, who I've done several films, when we did the shaving this year, we did something called Uncle George. Remember, I did it part one.
Gillian.
With Gillian, who played the sort of daughter niece. Then I came in here, if you remember, Peter, you took it all off, and then I played the other part, which was the dad. It was a nice piece. Sound was a bit ropey, but it was such a nice idea. And she was in it. What part did she was playing? A prostitute, wasn't she? They're all prostitutes. They're all parts in your thing. So, Gillian.
Yes.
Yeah, you're Gillian. What are you playing, Gillian?
I'm playing Cassandra.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how was your last couple of days?
Amazing. It's been really
and
lovely.
And that makeup artist, fantastic.
Like a legend.
Just picked her up off the street, I did.
Stop, everyone.
Yeah. Are you getting all embarrassed? Look at her getting all embarrassed. Look, you won't need to put any carmine or rouge on your cheeks, darling. You're going all red, aren't you? So it has been good for you. Because we've done a couple of films together, haven't we?
We have indeed.
Yeah.
We have indeed, Mark. And this one, actually, we don't have... Well, we've got a few, actually, moments today where we walk off together. Chatting.
I've got some huge paragraphs too, and I've just said to them I can't, because my leg, I was filming yesterday and my leg is absolutely killing me.
What, were you at Churchill Square?
Yeah. No, I just was worried about the hats from Kestrel House. That's because I left it in the box on top, and I said, I hope you picked that up.
Oh yeah.
So we can use that again, can't we?
Yeah.
It's a lovely hat. Once I put the cardboard in, it fitted exactly. The reason for wearing the hat was so I didn't have the horns on the whole time, which is a trick I had to do when I did another film, Pay the Devil. And I couldn't find those horns, could I? But the lady, Des, provided these hard plastic horns, and she painted them up, and they just look superb. The other ones were huge, and I was in a thing called The Precious Spawn of the Devil, and I was the devil. She's speckling me now. These, what are these called? Alcohol paints.
Yeah, alcohol. Yeah.
So the alcohol, it's coloured alcohol paint with which flicking it on to give me a sort of.
And then if you could put it on the other eye.
Hold on, let me just swapping it wherever. It then dries very quickly.
Can I also
you put it where you want it, and I'll hold it.
Because I just need to just close your eye.
Yeah.
Is that on?
Yeah. Is that all right?
Or do you know? Let me hold it because I need to. I'll need to get sort of right where your finger.
Oh Christ, hello. Oh yeah, because you've got to do that. Do this bit down here, you see. Oh yeah, no, here's another thing. Right. I have done with Sarita, Stephen and many others, many scenes in the organ room at, what's it called?
St Benedict.
St Benedict. Raven's house, Kestrel house, whatever, Dr. Eisenhurst house. And they have this beautiful organ that looks like an old church tracker organ, but it's not, it's a prop. And the actual organ itself is electronic.
My favourite scene? My favourite scene, I guess, has to be anything that was shot up in the organ room, as it was euphemistically known. Well, in fact, not euphemistically, because there was indeed a full-size organ up in this room.
Time to go to work, my pretty.
The organ room was the scene of a number of interesting scenes, and may I say, of a number of double entendres. The most interesting scene in the organ room is probably when there was a green-coloured dead lady on a couch to whom Mark Sinclair, playing the Baron, was trying to, shall we say, shower with affection. Slightly odd scene, looking forward to seeing what it actually turns out like.
I think it's actually having Nigel there was a good thing. Because Nigel and I went to school together. And we made 8mm films together. I did the Market Chancellor cinema this year. And that's how he got involved with Stephen. And he's sort of been bitten by the bug again, hasn't he, Stephen?
Hope so, yes.
And I think they're going to do a bit of collaboration. Nigel's asked me to be in a film that he's doing end of this month, and unfortunately, because of my new work looking after autistic adults, I can't do it.
How did you enjoy the Kestrel?
That was a highlight. Gizmo. We only had the handler called Luke. And Gizmo. We bought two, but we never sold the other one, did we? Still in its box. They bought it in cat boxes. I thought that's weird. And this one, Gizmo, they can shut up.
Very noisy.
They are very noisy, but it's like my doggies wanting food. They can see human beings. They think, right, equate that to food. That's what Luke was saying to handler. But I'd be absolutely spot on. You've got some really good shots, didn't you, Stephen?
A few, yes. Beautiful Kestrel. Why is it empty?
Well, this is Kestrel House.
Well, the people that own St Benedict, or Kestrel House, Raven's house, whatever. The lovely couple of guys, one of which Now, tell me if I'm wrong, Stephen, is a Russian Orthodox priest.
I'm sure you're right, Liz.
And he walks around in a monk's habit.
He's also an undertaker.
And he's also an undertaker.
Yes.
And they've got two houses. They're doing the one up next door, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the one that we always use is just stunning. It's all wonderful stuff. And they always do like, if it's a short film that we do, normally there's only 2 or 3 members of the cast. Stephen very kindly gets the guys to produce a nice lunch or a bit of a wrap afterwards, and they provide a nice lekker sandwiches and cakes and that, and a bottle of wine.
Done those words. That's done.
Having your eyeliner put on, dear, are you?
He's fresh-faced and ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
What I want.
Well, you see, I used to be like that, dear. That was years ago. But,
we all did once.
yeah, and look what happened.
The engine, you turn the ignition on. What was I just thinking? Turn it off and get back up. I like the idea of you having like slightly dirty hands, but I think
I can get some paints like the charcoal.
Go and put your hands in the earth outside. I'll just take it.
yeah, well, kind of so it doesn't transfer onto things, but maybe that's a detail that's not necessary.
I don't know, the more I do the artwork, I'm sure it was smudging a little bit.
Yeah.
And the smudges
Yeah.
look good.
So I don't know actually what are you drawing with?
I'm doing pencil sketches of Alice.
Yeah, it was a nice crew, nice cast, all really game, you know, up for doing it and doing it well. Yeah, I remember that Serge. He was a pretty boy. I remember now. I wonder why I forgot him. His name isn't Sergio, that's the part.
The character's name, his real name's Jonah.
Jonah, that's it, yeah.
I want you two to stand here, facing each other, and pretend to kiss each other. Like one of you lifts her heels off the floor. Right, that's good, that's enough. Now sit back on the bed. And you, I want you to climb on the bed and bounce up and down. Not too much, just a little. And you, I want you to slowly take off these shoes one by one and drop them on the floor next to me so I can see them.
Just a brilliant time. I hope the audience are going to enjoy it. And it will be because I'm such a lazy old fart. I had sort of read it once. It changed so much I've lost track of what goes on. Which is probably a bit, that does give the character some spontaneity because you don't really know what's going on in other scenes. You're, sort of, none the wiser. But I think it's going to be a good one. I really do. I think, and it's a passion that Stephen wanted to have done because we've been let down a couple of times for various reasons, which we won't go into. And it was going to start filming in April, but with all getting a cast together, was a bit of a problem. And in the end, one or two characters were dropped or changed sex or whatever. And we ended up with the cast we have, and it's a very good cast. And they all got on very well. Well, the ones I met. Yeah? Well, that's nice and old-fashioned, isn't it? Whoa, tickle.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you sing Vita Bella. Hearts will play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella. When the stars make it through, just like pasta fazool, that's amore. When you dance down the street with a cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream and you know you're not dreaming, Signore, scusami, but you see, like in old Napoli, that's amore. Amore.
But here we are,
That's
Peter, the singing barber. Thank you, Peter, for having us again. And he's done this on his day off, which is probably a good idea because, you know, it means you'd have an audience here, wouldn't you, Peter? And you wouldn't get much work done. And it's been a bit of work on this. Look at that. 10 minutes younger. Peter, thank you.